America's most famous athletes, you can see them right here, led by Mike Tyson, urging President Trump to make some changes when it comes to cannabis laws.
In a letter to Donald Trump, the athletes say, quote, after making sweeping promises to voters in 2020, former President Joe Biden failed to deliver on his pledge to address marijuana-related injustices.
So boxing legend Mike Tyson is taking things into his own hands. Mike Tyson, welcome.
Hey, Brian, what's up, brother?
What's going on? I have to ask you, what is the problem right now? Because it seems it's on its road to being legally nationwide. What are the hurdles you're dealing with right now?
Scheduling from 1 to 3, you have to believe cannabis is in the same category as heroin. How do you categorize it with heroin? Anybody that ever smoked cannabis know there's no comparison. And that's just ridiculous. So we're working on making a Schedule 3 and open up safe banking, because there's over 500,000 people that can't get loans because they're in the cannabis business alone. And that's just so ridiculous. It's such a great income of insurance for the country. And for the country. And I just can't see it. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I know in your letter you highlighted 3 main points to the proposed reform. Can you go through those points for our audience?
Absolutely. As I was speaking and saying earlier, cannabis has been labeled a label 1 narcotic, and that's in the same category as crack and heroin. And we all know, whoever experienced with cannabis before, no, that's not true, and it's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. So, Mike, I guess, and
we
I know you know.
Hey, excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt. We're also working on clemency. We're also working on clemency because there's people that's still in prison, been in there for 15 years, got enormous amount of time and ridiculous sentences for cannabis. Can you believe the rest of your life is going to be spent in prison because of a plant? It's just ridiculous.
There's a lot of people that find that ridiculous. So, Mike, I know you support the president. I know y'all are friends as well. But he has traditionally been against drugs and drinking. How has the conversation been with him?
Well, listen, that's the first mistake that we're making, is categorizing it as a drug. It's not a drug. It's a medicine. It's just not labeled as a medicine because we never used it. But it's being pretty much dealt with now.
I know you...
Yes, go ahead.
I know you said in the letter that in most of these states, it's legal to smoke marijuana. And some of these people that are incarcerated have really lengthy sentences. Are those sentences from before the laws changed?
Yes, they were, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
How long are those sentences?
Some of them up to 15, 20 years for cannabis.
Wow. So, Mike, you do agree. So for you personally, marijuana has helped you, correct? For you psychologically?
Well, listen, I hate to even say this. Just look at me, I don't know, 30 years ago when I was fighting, and look at me now.
Right. Mm-hmm. You're a little calmer.
Yeah, I could not live. I was going crazy without cannabis. I was just going absolutely mad, fighting people in the street, giving wild responses back to people who said, "Can I help you?" And then it's done so much for me. It's given me a new life, so to speak.
Mike, do you hope?
People who've known me since I was fighting as a young kid, and so all the reckless trouble I was getting into, that's not happening now as an adult.
Mike, is one of your pushes to make sure that this is legal nationwide?
100%, yes. This the time and the sentences they've been getting for this plant is just totally ridiculous.
How did you get all of these athletes to come on board with you?
Well, listen, we all did it together. This is something they wanted to do for so many years, but didn't know how to go about doing it. And I was just blessed enough to have the perfect team for this particular genre of sports or whatever it was, medicine. And Weldon, we got to put this in perspective. The Weldon Angels are also helping us work this rescheduling out. And I'm just so happy to be a part of this and being part of all the other athletes, not knowing that they were really with this whole situation and making cannabis legal. I never knew other athletes wanted that as well.
So has this been a successful business for you?
The business has been successful, but it's not going to help anybody unless we make it safer, because right now it's very difficult and it's not safe.
What do you mean? What do you mean by safer?
Well, Well, we have people in China and Mexico, and they're filling our cannabis with fentanyl and pesticides and all that stuff, and it's just killing human beings.
Wow.
What do you say?
That's why we try to make it legal.
What do you say to the critics that are, don't like drugs at all?
Well, this is what we do. This is the first problem that they have, because we always saying it's a drug. The word drug is negative when it comes to Americans and all that stuff, because we think about cocaine, cannabis, cocaine, heroin, liquor, and all that stuff. But that's not true. Cannabis is not a drug. No one's never died from. No one's never OD'd over it. And for anyone to think that it's anything more than a drug, it's just, you can't believe it. Look, people drink. How many people die drinking? You put a bunch of people that don't like each other in a room and give them alcohol. They kill each other. You give them some cannabis, they start taking selfies with one another. And they hate each other. It's just a whole
Start to hug.
Well, that's an interesting case study, certainly. But I mean, there is an addictive part of marijuana, like anything else.
You don't have to smoke it. You could do gummies. You don't have to necessarily smoke it. You can do it all. It's in everything.
But Mike, do you believe there should be an age, just like liquor, where you can't drink when you're young?
Absolutely, 100%. 100%.
What should the age be?
But listen, 21, of course.
Okay.
I'm going to use one of these analogies again. Who would you rather have sitting on that couch with you? A cannabis user or a crack user?
I'm going to go with those are my only two choices. I'll be cannabis, okay? Yeah, we don't book the crack users like we used to.
Well, you should to compare the two.
So, Mike, are you done fighting?
I can't hear you. Say that again.
Are you done fighting?
Pretty much so. Pretty much so.
Unless they hit you with a lot of money.
Right.
Hey, then I'm coming out of the senior citizen.
Thank you so much, and thanks for going on with Sean. If you want to watch more of this topic, this interview, Sean interviewed him, and you can watch it now on Fox Nation.
The great Mike Tyson. Thanks,
Thank
Mike.
you so much, guys, for helping.
Thank you for coming on.
Call the president, pitch your case. He'd love to hear from you.